once and for all, with your host, Lil B and the Hater.
Hello, welcome into the Mocking With You podcast. We have a special episode with this week. We are bringing you our top 10 running backs in the 2025 NFL draft. And let's just go ahead and get this out here. This class is insane. This is the deepest running back class that's in forever. The average running backs taken in an NFL draft over the last 5 years is 19 point something. So you could say about 20 running backs, 19 to 20 running backs over the last 5 years is what's drafted it in 256 average picks. There is 30 draftable grade running backs in this class and would not be shocked if 30 go. So this is a very deep and hard class. I watched 24 backs. I have a very solid list. So please, and again, as we talked about with the tier system or the floating system last week with the wide receivers, it's very much so again with this running back class. I understand everybody likes something different. So these are, of course, our things. So if there's not a guy in the top 10, he's probably sitting right outside, or there's a reason he's not there in our eyes.
Yeah, I was too old. And there was one guy outside of my top 10 that I really wanted to put in there if I was still looking. I'm like, man, I really love this kid. But man, he's old.
And that's the other thing. There's a lot of older backs with a lot of mileage, and there's some young backs with no mileage.
There is one older back with a lot of mileage in my top 10, and there's a reason.
So it's good. I think it's going to be a fun. I don't know Chris's, and Chris's doesn't know mine. We know the top 5. I think we agree on the top 5. But we just don't know the order of that 5.
No.
So let's get right into it. I'm excited to see our list because I know they're totally different from each other. I don't expect a lot of crossover. We could have crossover. I don't know. Oh, and Haters on the board first. Haters hunches.
Donovan Edwards. No, I was skeptical, Willie. I was skeptical.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy is a one-note pony.
Hit click.
Hit click?
Hit click.
Click? Oh, no way. Oh, what? This is what happens when you don't look at each other's list, because I'm shocked.
We're here.
Right
off the bat. Every time. Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you talk and I'll follow up.
I was the one that was probably not going to put him on the list, but then I'm like, this guy's a home run hitter. And the offensive coordinator for Michigan this last season was absolute garbage.
That's why he got fired.
Absolute garbage. Yeah. If you look at this guy last year, number one, the national title game, took over the national title game.
He took over the last game last year, 2 years in 23.
He quit. Like, I didn't know this, but I told him this earlier. A lot of his big runs were later in games, but that's okay. He just put the team away. That's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
we need a home run.
Yeah. So
no one better at this than Donovan Edwards.
So Donovan.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say? I'll let you finish.
I was gonna say I don't think you can feeling it.
So Donovan Edwards is a running back from Michigan, 22 years old, 5'11", 205. So he has the build, the prototypical build and everything you want from your running back. He's one of the younger guys with very little touches. He was always part of the Jim Harbaugh experience with running backs where they never really, he was part of the RBBC. So in 24, he only had 128 carries, 589 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Last in 23, 119 carries, 497 yards, and 5 touchdowns. His best season was in 22, where he had 140 carries, 991 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He good burst, great lateral movement. He's very twitchy. He ran a 4.44 at the combine. He has the second gear speed, as Chris says, a way to get away from people. Very good vision. Poor pass pro. Don't expect him to be a blocker. Patient, waits for his blocks. When he sees the hole, he hits them. He's a very good. He's actually a very great pass catching back. He made a lot of contested catches, and he actually in his freshman year threw a beautiful touchdown pass in the Big Ten championship game, which was fun.
I wrote that in my notes.
Yeah. He's a one cut and go type of running back too.
Yeah. Not doing a lot of dancing back there.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite things. He had a huge game in 23 against Ohio State, but he high point diving backwards versus Hawaii his sophomore year for a catch. That was freaking beautiful. This guy, I mean, honestly, he has the build and he's a great running back, but how he makes his catches and what he does with catches, I wouldn't be afraid to throw him in the slot for some crazy stuff because he has
put him out there out wide.
Yeah, I really like everything about Donovan. He has so much. He could add a wrinkle to your offense. Oh no, we lost.
Oh no, what happened?
I don't know. Big faces in your face. I'm sorry, folks.
Sorry guys. Sorry,
But yeah, I really like Donovan Edwards. I do think. I think he could be a true running back one. I think he could definitely bump up his carries. He does have issues with like missing a game here and there with some, injury, and that's why his stats are, he's always lower on the carries because he is hurt. So that's another reason. His tape says one thing, but his injuries are somewhat of a concern. But they're never like horrible injuries. They're just holding him out.
Yeah, like I do wonder. I think I have that in my notes, like injuries, one issue, but how much of an issue?
Yeah.
Because every running back in miss some time.
Oh no!
What?
I sent Jolene the wrong list. I do have a top list, but that's not my rankings.
Oh no!
Yep.
Oh no!
Yep.
Oh no!
Yep. Yep. I was staring at that list for a second. I'm like, that looks like my brother's list. I cut copy wrong of the list.
Little me? Come on.
Yeah. So all right.
I was the one to mess up this week, but
yeah. So
maybe that's why I would cut the slide.
Yeah. The slides, doing this for a prettier background definitely came back to bite me. Yeah, I do have Donovan Edwards there, but my other guys are not going to be on here. So Chris, you can just skip and I'll just talk about my guys. So number 9 is not going to be, go ahead. It's
not who it is?
No. So I hate Devin Neal. Hate Devin Neal.
Why? Okay, I felt like Devin Neal. I was like, why?
So that's right when I noticed it. So I am sorry, Devin Neal is not on my list. He is actually running back 18 for me. I do not like any. He does nothing. He is just a guy. He has no elite traits. But I'm going to talk about my guy here at number 9, and it's DJ Giddens from Kansas State.
I've never seen it with that knowing that that's it.
Yeah,
but go ahead, keep going.
I mean, once we get to the graphic, you'll have the correct name, the correct numbers on there. So I am so sorry about this, folks. But my guy is DJ Giddens, running back from Kansas State. He's 21 years old, 6 foot, 212. Last year, he had 205 carries for 1,343 yards and 7 touchdowns. In 23, he had 223 carries for 1,226 and 10. He was a 0-star walk-on running back. He ran a 4.43 40 at the combine. All I can tell you is, can we still go check on Shiloh Sanders? Because he literally broke both ankles and both knees with a juke move in the game against Kansas State. It was like, I felt sorry for Shiloh. That play alone will probably not let Shiloh get drafted late because of how –
everyone's going to look at that tape and be like, my Lord, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Shiloh got his lunch money stolen.
Yeah, great burst, has multiple tools, makes people's miss, balance, agility, good cut move, hands, needs his receiving ability. He's probably the weaker when it comes to my top 10 at the receiving. Great vision, patient runner, contact runner. He's not afraid to put his shoulder down and run through you. And he doesn't have breakaway speed. It's funny. He ran a 4.4, but he never really showed the 4.4 speed.
It don't look like that on tape.
Yeah. So I love DJ. DJ Giddens here, though, at number 9 for me. I am mad I fucked that up and sent the wrong list.
This is amazing. Amazing, by the way. So Smith is my number 9. By the way, I really love him. And but the fact that I have a couple other guys ahead of him, I just couldn't move them any higher. Because I like the other guy in front of him just a little bit more dog, in my opinion. Nice jump step finisher. He finishes his run. But Clark Smith is obviously going to be one of the most underrated backs in this draft.
You know why?
Play at SMU?
No, because he was a receiver for the last 3 years at Miami. He made the conversion to running back at SMU this last year. It's his only season at running back.
Well, he exploded on the scene.
235 carries, 1,300 yards, and 14 touchdowns.
Pretty good. And he can line up in the outside and hit the ball as he was right receiver.
Yeah. Ran a 4.39.
4.39. By the way, I really like that.
And, I wrote down, not knowing, I said, could be a slot receiver, used a lot of motions. And I was like, and then I went back and caught that he was a wide receiver at Miami. I was like, oh, hey, that's
well, that's why.
That note before.
I didn't know that either. I did not know that either.
Yeah.
But the name sounded familiar. So
yeah.
I was like, what? Clark Smith, okay.
Yeah,
well, his head versus Florida State was absolutely outrageous.
Yes, I even wrote that down. Even his catch against fucking Pitt was insane as well.
Yeah, patient, very patient in the hole. If this is his first year as a running back, he's a natural.
Yeah, yeah. He's Tyrone Tracy times 10, like how Tyrone.
Yeah, and very light on his feet, by the way. Yeah. Very light. He's not heavy.
Yeah.
He's not shuffling around like some guys on the bottom of my list.
Yeah, the good thing he's 22 by the draft, but I mean he has 235 carries on his body. Like he's still young,
right.
and he's still learning the position. He's one of the he's the guy. Yeah, he's on my list, but
he's on my guy. He's on my guy, Tony. By the way.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
All right, who we have next? Okay, here we go. This guy. He's Giddens. Plays really high. I don't know if you noticed that. He's pretty high in his stance. But kind of reminded me of Marion Barber, just the way he ran. Good finisher. I didn't tell. I was looking at my long note. No, I didn't have the finisher. I have those steps, powerful group move, Marion Barber 2.0. That's what I got.
I mean, I've already talked about DJ.
He just finished his run just a little bit better, by the way. That was the long note I was looking at. Clark Smith. But yeah, his finishing on his run, that's a bit better.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
But I love this guy. I really hope the Chargers can somehow draft this guy. It's gonna be all the running backs.
All the running backs.
All of them. That's the system, eh?
So this for me this is my brother's list. I'm very mad right now. So this right now is Braden Smith for me on my list.
Braden, okay.
So
Braden and Charlotte.
Yeah, so we both agree. We just have one spot difference. Braden right here, so I won't sit here and compete talking about it. So go ahead and hit it for my number 7. Again, I don't know what my brother has here. I'm fucking stupid. I clicked the wrong damn list. Yeah, funny enough. Okay, here we go. This is actually my running back 7.
Hold on here.
It worked out. So, oh, hey, what's up, buddy?
Bye.
So Cam Scatterbo from Arizona State, 23 years old. That's the big knock.
Yeah, he's not.
5'9" and a half, 219 pounds. This last year, he had 293 carries, 1,700 yards, and 21 touchdowns. He transferred to Arizona State in 2023 from Sacramento State. He has great balance, breaks tackles like no other. He had 92 missed tackles in 2024.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah. So here's my negatives. I can sit here. I'll let Chris talk about some of the goods. 10 fumbles in his career.
Yeah.
So that will get you benched in the NFL, and he's being sued right now. So he's being sued by a former teammate for a golf cart accident inside the locker room. So who knows? Hopefully there's enough time for this to be the story to get covered up, to get covered by the teams and they can investigate they can make a decision. If they can't find out or the truth is bad, this could hurt his draft stock. Not his tape, but his draft stock. It's one of those things where I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of other running backs go over him if the findings are bad for Cam.
Yeah, if they find out that it was more elusive than they.
Yeah, so those are
there was malice behind it.
Yeah, but he's a miniature Mike Allstott.
Yeah, we were talking about this. You stole my line, but thank you.
You're welcome.
He looks like Mike Allstott. I'm looking at him and I'm like, who does this guy look like? Mike Allstott. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Tuck the plane down. You're going to have to blame the whole team.
Yeah.
We have to blame the whole team to bring him down. Because this guy cannot be stopped. He's a bulldozer. Amazing in the passing game. For his size, you wouldn't think that he's that good, but he's really good.
I wrote he loves contact. He loves
no shy away from contact. You know what kind of reminds me of Marshawn Lynch?
Mm-hmm. I'll give you that. Yeah. I'm not trying to be negative, because I haven't really haven't said anything actually negative besides fumbles. He has stiff hips. It's probably because he's fucking short in muscle, but it obviously doesn't. Yeah, he's a muscle hamster.
He's a muscle hamster. Who was the muscle hamster again? Oh my goodness.
Oh God, Doug Martin.
Yeah, Doug Martin.
Had to pull that out of the hat really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Cam. So who's number 6?
Well, let's see. For you, for me, it's Dylan Sampson. I love Dylan Sampson. And I wanted to put him at 5, but I just...
I'm really sure. Chris, Dylan Sampson is truly my number 6. I don't know if it is my brother's, but...
I was talking to him earlier and he said the same thing to me, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Go ahead with your...
what do I have? Very straightforward runner. He's not going to dance around and wait around and do a bunch of nonsense. Elusive the first tackle well. Every time I watch him, he's eluding the first tackle really well. Not very shifty. Amazing burst off of the line, though. Yeah. I just love his burst.
See, you didn't say shifty. I did put shifty on his as a note. I saw.
I didn't see it. I guess we saw different things. Fumbling issues were like negative for him. But other than that, he's one of the best stats we have on this list.
Yeah.
He only played one season, right?
He's only 20 years old.
Yeah, he's best.
Yeah. He's 5'8". He's 200 pounds, though.
He's big.
Yeah. So he's a 1-year starter from Tennessee. He had 258 carries, 1,491 yards, and 22 touchdowns this past season.
What do you think his 40 time is?
His 40, he didn't run.
Yeah, I have a question on that.
I would say he's a 4.4, like a low 4.4.
I would say like a 4.5, but yeah, 4.4
I would say a
4.8.
4.45 is probably I would say is where he's at. He doesn't get caught from behind.
Yeah.
So fumble concerns, as you said, good burst. He breaks tackles. He had 70 missed tackles this last season. He had 38 runs for 10 plus yards or more. He was like top 3 or 4 in that category this past season.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He was the best SEC running back. He was the best running back in the SEC. If it wasn't the insane year of Genty and Travis Hunter, I think Dylan Sampson would have been the Heisman winner.
Yeah.
If Dylan was on any other team but Tennessee, if you put Dylan on Alabama, just because it's Alabama, Dylan probably could win the Heisman. Like any other year, Dylan would have ran away with the Heisman. This last year, it was blasphemy that Dylan is again another year where Hendon Hooker should have got it, at least the invite. At least Dylan should have got it, invite and some votes, and he got a vote for the Heisman. But Cam Scatterbo had a great year. I mean, like literally any other year, Dylan would have been up there. But he broke multiple Tennessee records from the 1920s. Like the dude broke he had an amazing season. He powers through tackles and wins despite his 5'8" stature. There's multiple times he does lower his shoulder and
There's
goes.
a lot of 5'8" guys on this list though.
Yeah, there is.
I'm not really too much worried. You were telling me about David Sanders from 5'8",
Yeah. So I love Dylan. I would love for the Packers to take Dylan. I would love Packers to take one Tennessee guy, and they took the defensive tackle. I can't even think of his name right now, and I should. Like from 20 years ago, we've never touched another Tennessee guy in like 20 years because of what.
At least we had Reggie White.
But it was a free agent, and that was before I played football, man. I just want a Tennessee guy one time, please. That's it. Okay, moving on.
Let me get stuck on this.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? Is that yours or no?
This is Mike's. Me for here, I have Travion Henderson. I'm not as high on Travion Henderson as my brother. You're lucky everybody's getting to see my brothers. But yeah, Travion Henderson for me. Wait, I don't know. Hold on, I can tell you. 1 second, give me a second. I'll tell you. No, okay, yeah, don't hit it yet. Travion Henderson, running back, Ohio State, 22 years old, 5'10", 208. 24 season, he had 144 carries for 1,000 yards on 144 carries and 10 touchdowns. His best season, though, was his freshman year in 21, where he had 183 carries for 1,250 yards and 15 touchdowns. But and I don't know what happened in 22 and 23. Like 23 was decent. He had almost.
That's in my notes. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. And there was no running backs in Ohio State, so it was really confusing. At least in 23, he had a good year. In 22, I have no idea what happened in 22. And there was
completely fell off.
Yeah, I don't know. There was no history.
You need some Ohio State guy to come on and this is why.
Yeah. So here's my things about him. He's a playmaker. He has this good second speed. He didn't run the 40, so we don't know what it is. He's a. I would
assume it's a 40.
I would agree. Great cut move, great receiver, great footwork, great balance, hits the hole fast, follows his block. To me, though, he is not an every down back. Out of the top 5 running backs, he's the only guy, and that's why he's 5 for me. Is that he has to be part of an RBB, running back by committee. He is not. He's not an every down back. Every other guy in front of him is a guy that can be your guy every down. That's his flaw. Honestly, that's the only reason he's at 5 for me. But
I put that he'll be an elite third down back. He'll be like Dylan Sproles, Austin Eckler, someone's going to examine what his Travion Henderson. He's got that getaway from the top speed.
Yeah, and I wrote that he can stop on a dime and turn. Like this guy can just go. He has a very good. He's very.
And I will say that he can deal out some punishment too. He's not just a speed guy.
No.
He can dish it out.
Oh yeah. It's just I don't think he can. I don't think he can put 200 carries on this guy.
No. He's not a 200 carry out of that. In my opinion, in your opinion as well.
If he's getting 1,000 yards on 140 carries, that's fucking amazing. Like you're not mad at that. You do take that in the second round, and you're ecstatic about that. If you're getting a running back,
he's still going in the second round. Like no matter what we think.
Yeah, like it's.
But I don't think you can take him and you can never down. Like look at the fact of the matter is 2023. What happened?
Yeah. Why once and you don't see an injury? Maybe Ohio State fans are yelling at us right now. This happened to him, and this is why. And that's okay. If there is, I'm not taking 22 into effect. I'm really not. Right. He has 3 great years of productivity. I just think any other year he could be RB2, RB1, RB3. But with this class, I have him at 5. He's a second round pick. I mean, I don't think that's to be fair. And again, if you have him at 3 to 4, I'm not going to argue that. This is when you start. This is a floating metric of running backs where they could be anywhere, and I'm not going to argue. This class, it's more of a tier. You should have them as tiers, or say, hey, I'm happy to take this guy in round 4. I'll take this group of running backs in round 4. Cool, and whoever you take in round 4, I'll be okay with. Go ahead with your 4.
Taylor Johnson.
Okay.
I told you I was not very impressed. I was watching the tape, and I think he's worthy of number 4. Don't get me wrong.
Go. Oh no, I don't have him there. So.
What pick do you have?
He has
Taylor Johnson here.
Not where I have Caleb. You can hit click again because it's Travion Henderson for my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
have. Go ahead. You just talk.
Okay. Eric Johnson, 6'1", 224 pounds. His scoring was a 4.5. Scoring not too bad, but I just think that I don't know. It's not that bad. Hits the hole with conviction, great vision. How good was he really? That O-line was making some massive holes. He could put a mat truck through those holes.
He did. He was the only thing at that offense, and nobody could stop him.
Yeah, they were planning to stop this guy, and they didn't stop him. So, but that, and let's not forget, there's some running backs out there that can't find a hole to save their life. So, his vision is amazing. And every down back, awesome spin move, very patient runner. His game against Washington, precious.
Yeah, that was his. I wrote down that was his best game. Yeah, so for me at 4 is Quinshawn Junkins. So I have the Ohio State running backs back to back. So at 4, I have Quinshawn Junkins.
Okay.
So he's 6 foot, 221, 21 years old. Before we got on the podcast, we were talking about him. Ole Miss, his freshman and sophomore year ran him into the ground. 270 plus carries. His freshman year was better than his sophomore year. He had 1,500 yards his freshman year with 16 touchdowns. His sophomore year, he only had 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns. Saw the same touchdowns, but his average per carry went down significantly. But in 24, he had 194 carries, 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. So very productive. He had like a 5.5 average run. So you're going to be very happy with that. He ran a 4.48 at the combine. Statistically, probably one of his best seasons this last year because of less carries. It had the good average per carry. Very good hands. I even said Ohio State lines him outside wide at times because of his hands. Great burst. He had a 75 plus yard touchdown versus Marshall, so he does have the long speed. But he often does get caught. He's a security blanket for your quarterback because of his hands. Not a great yak, though. So when he's receiving, he only got a 3.2 yards after contact when receiving. So not a yacker. He's just going to be there open. He's going to get a couple yards and continue playing. Good stiff arm. I love him. I mean, that's why he's at 4. I have nothing. He's hard to bring down. And then my number 3 is Caleb Johnson.
Go ahead, talk about him a little bit.
Caleb Johnson, Iowa, 21 years old, 6'1", 224. This is where you start talking about your every down backs. From 4 and up, to me, are your every down backs. And Caleb has it all. He has the size. In 24, he had 240 carries, 1,500 yards, and 21 touchdowns. It was an insane year last year for running backs. He ran a 4.57. Not the end of the world. A lot of running backs have ran slow. But I even wrote down O-line gave him Mack truck size holes. I said mass holes. I mean, the guy could we could run for 500 yards behind. I mean, the holes were massive. Really good burst, good field vision, nimble for his size, can catch, patient runner, like everything that Chris has already kind of said. Go ahead, Chris.
This is all just about my love for John Edmonds. I just love him. This is pure favoritism here. Because if I'm going out the tape, I'm probably putting Caleb over Edmonds. But I love that in tape now. I think you broke down his 40 and 5, so I won't get there. Second Harry helped Edmonds out this last year. Otherwise, I don't think he'd be as high for me because, man, Ole Miss ran him into the ground.
Yeah, they did.
And ever down that, his stutter step is amazing. Once he gets going, he's kind of like a great plane. It's hard to stop. That first burst from him is great stiff arm. Yeah. Look past him back. And then he's not great, but he's good. He's effective. I wouldn't say he's like Elton and passing in, but whatever. Just letting this guy to hit the hole, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. I have nothing. You're nothing. I'm going to go ahead and say.
That's 4.8, by the way. Whew.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say we can just click the rest of the way and we can talk about
it. Good.
I'm pretty sure we're going to be the same here. Oh!
Oh, with that.
Okay. You have the best running back in the last 15 years at number 2.
We just like straight hated it. And it's funny, if my notes on him are not like negative.
I don't know how you don't have him.
His first step is crazy. And by the way, I didn't get his one time that I don't think he ran it, but 5'8", 211 pounds. Wow. That's according to NFL Network Combine. First step is crazy. Once he puts his foot on the ground, he's dangerous. Rarely stopped on the first tackler. And, he's insane.
Yeah. I'm kind of dumbfounded right now, to be honest with you, brother. I was not expecting that.
What do you know the rest?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I have Amari Hampton, the correct number 2. But you know what, Chris? I'm not going to hate on you because there has been rumors multiple teams do have Amari Hampton at number 1. So you're not there's been rumors of that. So that's not like world shocking news. There are some teams that do. And I don't know if that's because they don't think Genty will be there. But Amari Hampton.
Awesome.
Yeah. Amari Hampton, the running back out of UNC, 21 years old, 6 foot, 221. He ran for 280. So he ran a lot. He also has a lot of mileage. 281 carries, 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns in 24. 23, 250, 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. So this guy, 2 years of productivity with a lot of carries. He ran a 4.46 at the combine. I comped him to Joe Mixon / Jacobs, but he runs a little faster than them by like a whole 10 hundreds of a 10 1,000. Oh fuck, I can't. They ran 4.5s. He ran a 4.4. There, I can't do math. He has a second gear, good burst, good vision, great hands, keeps his feet moving all the time. Automatic touchdown in the red zone within 5 yards. Automatic touchdown. You give him the ball, he's scoring for you. He runs high. That's my negative. He likes to run high like this, and he's going this way. So makes the bounces off of them. So I mean, did you see the Wake Forest game? You hurdled the defender for a touchdown?
Yes. I could have looked that down in my notes.
Glorious. Athletic as hell, runs inside and outside. He can do a lot of these guys I forgot to mention. Some of these guys like are inside runners only and can't go on the outside. And some of these guys run inside and they shouldn't run inside. Like some of the guys later in the list, you watch them, you're like, why you keep running inside? Just run outside. When you get in the field open, you're gone. But you get caught up in that wash and you don't get out of it.
I can't run inside on this list. I could have looked that down too.
Yeah, love Hampton. Number one, let's talk about it. Is Ashton Genty. We all know who he is. He's 21 years old. He's 5'8" and a half. He's 211 pounds.
You have to get the hat in there, you know.
He's not full. You got that half inch, man. That half inch matters. He ran 374 attempts this last season for 2,600 yards and 29 touchdowns. The correct Heisman winner. The correct Heisman winner is Ashton.
I think it was like 2006. It would have been the Heisman winner.
If it wasn't, everybody is saying somebody because he played 100% of snaps is the only reason Hunter won. We're not going down that road. He had a 6 touchdown game versus Nevada. He's not afraid of contact.
Nevada.
He usually makes the first defender miss. He just bounces off tacklers. Just bounces. It's ridiculous on how he's a steel wall and defenders he doesn't even move. I comped him to mini Derrick Henry. He's a mini Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I have a mini Derrick Henry.
He had 43 receptions in 23, so he has very good hands as well.
Yeah.
And you can count multiple big plays a game.
What was his numbers in 2023?
220 carries, 1,300 yards, and 14 touchdowns. And and then in 22, he had 156 carries, 821 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
Man, this guy has a lot of mileage.
He's 21, and it didn't affect him. They gave him a lot of rest though too. Remember that he sat out a lot of second half of games.
Yeah,
well, even when they needed him, they sat him out because they did. He ran it 20 times in the first half. And then he would come in the second half and only rush it a couple more times. So they abused him in the first and then rested him. So it's not like he had it for all 4 quarters. Right. That's a way of looking at it as well. He did get a lot of rest between there.
All right, so let me just go to Hampton for a second. Hampton is him, okay? He's him. He's the dude. I should have made a comp for him, but if I'm going to make a comp, and this did remind me of Emmett Smith.
I'll give you that. That's okay.
And I'm not saying Emmett Smith, no, take that out of context, but every down back in front of the world, elusive, quick, powerful. We'd like to see him finish more runs, though. Cut the win down. Like, I never saw him win that block down by 1 tackle.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't.
And he's an end zone, like you said earlier. And in the end zone, helmet.
Yeah, when you get him a couple yards outside the end zone, he's going to score for you.
End zone monster.
Yeah. I have no problem with it. I love 100%. I'm calling it. Bears are taking Genty. Steelers are taking Hampton.
They have to now that they lost
Najee to
Harris
your
from that
Chargers.
Well, I think the Chargers will get a complimentary that
You're getting take
Donovan Edwards
or Caleb Mullins in like the 5th or 6th.
Oh Lord, he's not bad, but
so
come on.
All right. I watched 24 backs, so I could say something about everybody. But who are 2 honorable mention backs from the 16 you watch that you want to talk? You just want to.
Well, I want to mention them because I love them, but I just couldn't put them on the list. R.J. Harvin.
Yeah.
Talk about that he wouldn't think it's one between the tackles because he's not that big. But this guy does well between the tackles.
He had in 3 years, he has 600 carries, and he's 24 years old. So he has a lot of carries, and he's 5'8", 205 as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I love the paint. The paint was amazing.
He had 49 explosive runs of 10+ yards. He was number 1.
And he ran up 1.
Yeah. He's the guy that needs to be in the open. Don't let him run up the middle. Get him out wide.
Really good in the end zone, though.
Oh, yeah, because he ran the Wildcat in the end zone.
That in that Wildcat.
Very much so, 100%. And then a lot of sweeps and draws, or sweeps, delays, and motions to let him get the second. Like, he's a very designed runner is what I'm trying to get to. You have to design specific runs for him to be effective.
And I'll just talk about Ollie Gordon. That guy, bro. He's not getting enough love. And I just want to shout out Jensen. We know that you're pounding the table for your boy. Where's Ollie? Why is he not in the top 10? Well, he's had a number 11 for me. I'm sorry. Just couldn't make it.
So, yeah. Mine, I want to give honorable mentions to. These are day 3 guys. They're not 11 or 12 for me. They're like 15, 18, that range, 20 range, to let people know, like a couple of names to look out there. And I told you, LeQuint Allen, running back from Syracuse. He's 20 years old. He's 6 foot 204. This last year, he had 228 carries, 1,000 yards, and 16 touchdowns. He had 64 receptions in 24 for an 8.1 average for a running back. The dude is massive. He didn't run the 40, but I think with how he looks, I would say he's in the 4.4, 4.5 range. Could be a 4.4 because there's times like I would not be shocked. It's kind of hard. He's a one-cut go kind of guy. He had a 3-score game versus UNLV. He does it all. He has agility and he has the power. I really like LeQuint Allen. He's a guy to keep a name out there for. And the other guy I would like to just give out a quick thing to, he was the last-second guy I watched, and I really loved him. Jaquiz Hunter, running back, Auburn. He's 22. He's 5'9", 204. As you can see, it's a very small running back class. This last year, he had 187 carries, 1,200 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He ran a 4.40. He uses his speed for big plays, great vision, good lateral movement, breaks a lot of tackles, very slippery and hard to bring down. And he is the effort guy. When you watch him on tape, all he brings is effort. He's the Energizer Bunny. He doesn't quit. He doesn't stop. He's a tough runner. He will just be that guy. He's my guy. I pound the table for Jaquiz Hunter from Auburn type of running back.
I'm not going to lie to him.
I love Jaquiz. I tried to tell you to watch Hunter. That was the guy I was
I ran out of time.
I understand. I'm just pounding the table for Jaquiz Hunter from Auburn is all I'm saying. If he goes higher, it's just that, that moment where you're pounding the table. Like, I saw it. I know it. I'm glad to see somebody, if he goes like, I would take him round 3. Like, I'm that bullish on him. Like, I would not.
You're like, I want him now. Give me him now. Like,
I'm not losing this guy. I'm taking this guy. He is like my guy pounding the table. I love me DeQuiz Hunter.
Talk about like a guy who was like Devin Neal was that guy where you were like I think this Neal was talking about him like he was really good and I just was like
Devin.
what am I looking at?
All right, Devin Neal. We did. I'm not a big Devin Neal guy, but I'll talk about him because I know you kind of like. I thought I was going to like him more because I liked a lot of kids from this school, and that's South Carolina's running back Raheem Sanders, aka Rocket Sanders. Yes, he's coming off a pretty bad injury in 23 season, but he just looked like he was running in molasses.
Yeah, that was
yeah, he's like running back like 23 or 22 for me. Like,
yeah.
I have him at 21. I'm sorry.
Injury, but yeah.
Another one, Jordan James. I don't get the Jordan James.
I definitely got spoiled by Oregon running back. Thing really good.
Yeah, it's not like James didn't have good statistics. I just don't get it. I don't like it.
No, the stats are there. It takes on that stats.
Yeah, but yeah, those are my two. They're draftable, obviously, but those would be for me. Those would be those guys. Round 6, round 7. Throw the dart on them. But I mean, they're probably going to go round 5 and 6. Both of those guys. If not, I could even see James somehow.
You know what I'm laughing about? I'm laughing at the fact that these lists got on the show, but
I mean, we have like 1 and 2 are the same.
Yeah.
6 is the same.
And then Devin Neal was on the list.
Yeah, Devin Neal's not on my list. RJ Harvey's not on my list. I have
Brady. He loves RJ Harvey, even despite the age. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, his age. He's going. If he goes round 3, which is potential where he goes, I get it. Like, I truly get it. For me, I would take him day 3, a little bit less money because he's an older back with a lot of mileage. 600 carries isn't a lot, but he's 20. He's 24 and going to be 25. It's it's a thing you got to worry about. I mean, you're getting
that 5 years, maybe
that shelf life. Any other position, I would not care because you're going to get 10 plus years out of that guy. But when you're a running back, you get one most likely, definitely at that age, you're getting one good contract, and that's it. Like I mean, very few other running backs go into their 30s.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, and it's nothing against Harvey. Harvey has great tape. I can't.
Oh, amazing tape.
Age is a factor here, and I hate it for Harvey. But I mean, if he goes round 3, I wouldn't be shocked, and I'd be like, "Yep, I get it. I understand why. I'm not going to be mad at the team." Again, I'm not going to. It's the floating metric. I have tiers, and if you take a guy that I have at number 7, but you have him and he's at number 12 for me, I'm not going to be mad if he's RB7 off the board. I get it. I love these running backs.
These running backs were very impressive. As opposed to last year, where I'm just going about.
Yeah, this year is going to be interesting for sure. Like I said, I watched 24 of these bad boys, and I've even watched a little bit more receivers after watching some quarterbacks. I already got 6 quarterbacks done going for next week. So
I didn't believe the fact that there's 6 quarterbacks a lot.
Yeah. Everybody, so next week is quarterback rankings. After that, we will be bringing you my guy episode. For our guys, we're going to be taking top 10 or 10 my guys. It could be multiple all running backs if you want it to be. I don't care. But 10 my guys, and my brother, Big B, will be back for that episode. And we're hoping for Jolene next week to come back, right, for quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So a lot of guests coming up, a lot of great episodes coming up. And after the my guy, after the my guy episode, we got you 3 great mocks before the NFL draft. So thank you for tuning in this week.
Whoop. We got to get in that spot.
It didn't work.
There we go. Oh. I don't know where the music went. So, bye guys. Have a good one.